Well, good morning. Welcome to Studio 365. Today is Friday. That is right. You have hit the end of the week. This is episode 133 in our series Innovation. My name is Joshua, and that is Pastor Kerrie Palmer. You hear laughing back there in the background, but it's a good laugh because it's Friday.
And it's your day.
That's right. It is my day. I really enjoy Fridays. I just can't get over it. So it really is good. Even though I usually end up working on Fridays,
right.
Like everyone else, I guess. Some people work weird. Like my wife, she'll I think this Friday she's off, so that's cool.
That is cool.
But yeah, I've always held that even if you're going to work on Saturday, no matter what, if it's Friday, it's just universally good because as children, you know that Friday's good, right?
So let me back up for a moment.
Okay.
You think she has today off?
No, not today.
next
Friday. Yes. So, yeah, I'm not that out of my mind yet.
Okay,
So.
all right. Just checking that
Yes,
out. So,
yep.
And this is our last Friday that we're going to be mentioning that it's Friday.
Yeah.
Because we are going the innovative way.
That's right. Yeah, things are changing. If you haven't listened to the last couple of episodes, you may want to check it out. But basically, we're going to be changing the way that this show works. And instead of kind of releasing a show every day, we're going to be doing these series, and it's going to be a really cool opportunity to check these out. And so what will happen is we'll kind of announce a series is coming out, and then boom, it will all be there.
Boom,
and,
like nothing has to happen.
Right,
no work.
Yeah. So boom, it's no work if you're on the other end.
That's right.
Yeah, you'll just see all of a sudden nothing's there. No, there's a new series, and you're going to get to kind of consume the content as you want. And we really feel like after looking at data and everything, that is the best way for people to really consume this, and it helps you to engage with it if you want to listen to it all at once or break it up a little each day. And we hope that that's kind of a fun and new thing.
You know, I think that it's going to be a lot of fun. I do want to go backwards when you said, boom, it's just going to be there because I would love to live my life that way.
That would be nice.
Just boom, it's
right.
done.
Yes.
Well, we have a great God word today. It's the end of the book of Genesis, which is the first book of the Old Testament. And it's about Joseph, who was a man that really had quite a kind of a hard time. He'd been thrown into a pit by his brothers, and they thought he would be there to die.
Yeah.
But instead, he was rescued to what? Become a slave. Then he did a really good job at being a slave, but ended up in prison. And then from prison, he ended up going to one of the second highest leaders of the ancient world. And so it was a pretty amazing thing, but he had to learn from that experience and not have bitterness.
Right.
And I think innovation so many times comes out of a hard space.
Yes.
And so these words are so good for us because I think that sometimes we have to let a lot of things go in order to move forward. And this is what it says in Genesis 50, verse 20. You intended to harm me. And he's talking to his brothers. But God intended it all for good. He brought me to this position so I could save the lives of many people. And what we have to really realize in innovation, that when we are willing to take that leap of faith, when we're willing to go forward, that God's going to use it for good, even if we've come out of something hard.
Right.
I know you have a great tip for us today.
Yeah, so today's is, to me it's a lot of fun because I always hear, I'm with a lot of people and we're always talking ideas. And there's a lot of ideas, but today's tip is really that execution is everything.
Right.
You can have a lot of ideas, but if you don't actually go out there and execute on those ideas, then it hasn't really done anything.
No, except that you had fun thinking about it.
Exactly, yeah, you had fun thinking about it. And then it's really in the execution of those ideas that you're able to kind of refine them and then kind of get on down the path and make it happen. But I think there's so many people who have great ideas, and maybe there's situations and things and places they're involved in, whether that's a church or school or work or home, where they think, wouldn't it be great if we did this? Wouldn't that be a great idea to organize it this way or do that? But they just never do it.
Right.
And so I would really want to encourage people to go ahead and act on that. Go ahead and just do it. Make it happen. I love saying that a lot with my employees around here, just saying, make it happen. Just, just do it. Let's quit talking about it. Do it. And so that would kind of be my key encouragement to everyone is just go ahead and do it. And like we talked about in the previous episode, yeah, you may fail. It may not immediately work, but learn from that and then just keep doing it. And eventually you're going to land where you want to land.
I like what you say, make it happen, because I think that's a decision and a choice that, okay, I'm going to make this happen.
Yes.
And of course, that we have to, really spend some time looking at how to do that. And you've already talked about that and making your plan and putting it all together. But at the end of the day, it really is a choice.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that many times innovation comes out of what we had said is the hard things of life, the things that didn't quite work. Maybe we call them failure. But instead, what we look at is opportunities.
Yes. I like
and we
that.
take those opportunities and we say, okay, I'm going to go forward. I'm going to do this and I'm going to throw myself fully in it. And if it doesn't work, then I look for that next opportunity.
Right.
And that's why I like that verse where, Joseph is facing his brothers. And instead of thinking, man, they tried to kill me, they didn't want me around anymore, he's looking at them and really in that moment looking at the fact that what happened because they did it.
Right.
What happened because of something really hard turned out to be really good. And that's what God does. He makes something good. And so as we are winding up, we had one more day and then we're moving into that brand new innovative thing. So here I go, get to saying to the second to the last day, Joshua and friends, I will talk to you tomorrow in Studio 365.
Well, thank you for listening to this episode of Studio 365. If you have not subscribed, you definitely want to so you can catch these upcoming series. So just go and hit that subscribe button and we will see you right back here tomorrow for another episode of Studio 365.